Hello and welcome to On Your Lane. This is the best ambitious people who are taking charge of their lives, making that income, making that impact, and living fulfilling lives. I am so excited that you joined me today, world changer. How are you doing? Today we're going to talk about something that moved me when I read it. It's Proverbs 24 verse 10. It talks about failing in a time of crisis. So today we're going to talk about your strength and how it's important for you to build it. I'm going round and round trying to find a title, but you will see the title. It'll be right there. But we're talking about Proverbs 24 verse 10. That's our anchor, and it talks about failing in a time of crisis. And to read it as it is, it says, if you fail in a time of crisis, your strength was too small to start with. And when I read that, I was like, okay, my goodness. But really, you can't be a victim and be victorious. You can't win battles without training. These are things that just are as is, You choose your story and you follow up with action. And most of us who are showing up here want to build big things, want to achieve tremendous success. And at the same time, we have the opportunity to be victims because our countries are not proper, our systems are not in place. We have excuses, legitimate excuses at that. But if you feel the call in your spirit to build something amazing, then you don't have the privilege of playing victim. You can pose when you're exhausted. You can cry when you're in pain. But you have work to do. You have generations counting on you. You need to build. We need to set foundations. We need to start this week. I also like the book of Nehemiah. It was so interesting to me. Nehemiah was just a waiter to the king, and he was serving the king one time and he was depressed. He had received news that Jerusalem was in rubble, and he was like, okay, I can't do that. My home is broken. So he was depressed for a little bit. And when he was serving the king, and the king was like, this is not how you act. What's happening with you? You look sad. He was like, yeah, my home is in rubble. I can't live like this. And the king asked him, what do you want? And he told the king, and he went to Jerusalem to fix it. And the king funded him and gave him permits and everything that he needed to make the work happen. Whilst he was there, people were uncomfortable because why are you rebuilding something that we were comfortable with as broken? So there were enemies within the community and without the community that were coming in and they're trying to stop him. And I remember the specific scripture where he was building and some guy came and said, come down, we need to talk. And he said, I'm doing a great work, I cannot come down. And that's just a simple thing. But it was important to me. It moved my heart because I'm doing a great work, I cannot come down. You will have those situations as a person who's trying to build where it's like, come down. An excuse is saying, come down, stop building, come down. Stop being a victorious person, come down and be a victim. Let's come here, let's just chill. And you'll be like, I am doing a great work, I cannot come down. I need to focus on this. So Proverbs 24 verse 10 says, if in the time of crisis you fall apart, there was never much to you in the first place. And we're going to talk to each other today and say, we are not going to falter in the time of crisis. But when the battle is at your door, it's not the time to train. It's time to fight. So right now, we're going to have to make ourselves strong so that when the battle comes, we are standing. That is an intro. Are you with me? First thing, you want to build something amazing, right? You'll be opposed. You will be opposed strongly. People will not cheer. People will talk about you. People will judge you. You will be opposed. How do you feel about that? Well, you have to be okay with it. Because if you look at history, if you look at people who have achieved anything, nobody achieves anything and gets the cheerleaders rooting for them like, achieve. No. The cheerleaders come later when you have better reputation and they have seen what you can do. But the journey to that is going to be a lonely journey. So you have to face it. You have to be resilient. You have to be clear on your vision because you will be opposed. And if an opposition comes and you're like, no, I stop, then you were not worthy of that dream in the first place. You're going to disqualify yourself. So you have to get comfortable with being opposed, comfortable with being judged. Number 2, you will not be liked. You are not for everyone. Other people will hear your vision and laugh. Other people will be like, oh my goodness, ridiculous. Other people will hear it and intentionally try to block you. There'll be a lot that will come to test you. You will not be liked. And as people, we love to be liked. It's nice to tell somebody your dream and they're like, wow, you're such an amazing dreamer. You're gonna make it happen. It's nice, but it won't happen. Half the time it won't happen. And if you have people like that in your life, praise God for it. But in this time, when you're building something, you will be opposed and you will not be liked. If you see the story in the Bible of Joseph when he shared his dream to his brothers, they hated him for it. He didn't do it, they just hated him for it. Like, Dreamer, he's coming back. Who does he think he is? And most of us, when people think like that about us, we are uncomfortable. Like, I want to be liked, but you can't have both. So you have to choose your story. And this, what I'm sharing today, is just for you to assess and say, am I willing to pay the price? Do I want to go ahead with this? If you want people to like you, that's a different story. If you want to achieve great things, that's a different story. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying be cold. But I'm just telling you that as you step out to do something different, people will be bothered by it. People will talk about you. People will say things about you. Like in my business, because it's very much on social media, I have people say stuff. I have people say, you post too much. I have people say, who do you think you are? Are you there yet? Why did you share about these things? It's okay. It's absolutely okay. Because I am on a journey. They're not on the journey with me. I have a vision. They don't have my vision. Why do I want them to clap for something they don't understand? They're not in my story. When my story is shared, they will not be in it. Then why am I giving them a portion of it to approve or something like that? No, you will not be liked, and that, my friend, is totally, absolutely okay. Third point, you will be alone. What comes to mind is the story of a man named Abraham. That man was with his family in a different land, and then God spoke to him and told him, relocate to a different land. And he didn't even tell him where. He just said, I'll show you. And then he had to relocate. He said, leave everyone and go. And he had to just leave. Just imagine you right now being told to go to a different country. You have never been there, and like just leave everything and just go. That's a lonely, lonely journey. And as people, we love community. We love checking on each other. We love having a shoulder to lean on, and that's important. But most of the times, when you are set apart to build something, the dream will separate you from others because there's a status quo that prevails in communities that says we are doctors and accountants in this place, and anybody who's trying to be an entrepreneur, we pull them down. Or we are entrepreneurs in this place. Every time somebody's trying to be a lawyer, we pull them down. There's this status quo, and most of the times, when your desire is bigger than your community, you will need to be separated, and that is loneliness. And for me, what is important is the fact that I have faith. When you are a person of faith, you're never truly alone. So even when you're feeling lonely, you talk to God and He comforts you, encourages you, and at the right time starts bringing the right people into your circle. But if you don't guard, if you don't have any faith, you don't guard your space, you'll find that in a time where you should be alone, you have let people come into your life and they have planted the wrong things. And now you have fears you didn't even know you had. Now you have doubts that were unnecessary. You were fired up to move to this place, and now you don't want to move anymore because you let people in who shouldn't be in. So that loneliness, though it sucks, but serves the purpose of purifying you, of building you up so that you're clear and you're breaking some ceilings that were existing where you were comfortable. Be okay being alone for a season. The fourth thing is you will be afraid. You will be afraid. Because if you're not afraid, you're probably not doing things that are breaking some ceilings or getting you out of your comfort zone. Because if you're going to build something amazing, your comfort zone has to be history. And that means you'll be afraid. That means you'll be taking some risks. That means you will be uncertain about the outcome of things. And that is also okay. It comes with the territory. If you're never taking any risks, then you shouldn't expect any rewards. And if you're not taking any extraordinary risks, if you're just staying comfortable, why do you think your reward will be bigger than what is expected? No. Okay. So you will be afraid, but don't live in fear. And that's why, again, it's important for you to build your faith, to understand the God who has called you, to understand the one who made you, and to see all the stories of people who believed God and prevailed, and normalize those stories and read those stories and be encouraged by those stories. Don't take them like just random stories. They're an indication of how God works and how He wants to work with you in your life. So when you're afraid, stand up, breathe, relax, Embrace your mission and say, I can do this. God is my strength. I can do all things. God is my strength. If you fail, you're likely to fail. Of course, if you fail, you will rise up. Okay, failure is falling and never getting up, but if you fall and you get up and do it better, you didn't really fail. So just demystify all these things that come into your mind. You will fail, you'll be embarrassed, they'll laugh at you. You'll be like, I will learn, I will grow, I'll get there. I will learn, I will grow, I'll get there. Who laughs at Steve Jobs now? Who laughs at Joseph now? Who laughs at Moses now? Who laughs at them? Who laughs at Mark Zuckerberg? Nobody. But they were laughable at some point in their lives, that they persisted. They were afraid, sweating at some point in their lives. I was watching this documentary. Is it a documentary or was it a live thing where Mark Zuckerberg was showing up before these politicians in the US and whatever, they were testing him for whatever he had done. I don't want to get into the details of that. But he was so sweaty. He looked like he just looked so timid and he was in over his head. And we were there laughing and watching him like, oh, look at him. But he was at that meeting. The politicians, top politicians in the US, the Congress, was it Congress or something, were asking for him. That is big. He has the attention of those big, big people. And here we are laughing in our little spaces. It is funny, but our laughter doesn't matter to him because he's playing in the big leagues. And we can laugh and make jokes about it and have opinions about it, but it doesn't matter. We are not in the game. So it's like you see Ronaldo playing and he's making mistakes. You are in the stands. You have no part in that game. It doesn't matter. So it's the same. Most of the people who laugh and point are not part of the game. So if you're afraid of their opinions, just say, you will never play like me. You'll never be in this. It doesn't matter. Right? So if LeBron is playing basketball and people are like, you're old or whatever, those people who are saying that have never played basketball. They'll never be LeBron. They'll never even compete with him. You get it? So we demystify these things, the fears that we have, fear of people, fear of opinions, fear of embarrassment. All these things are demystified. People who have achieved big things know that these things come with the territory, and you should too. So embrace part of this journey and know that you are a victor. And that means you have scars, that means you will hurt, and that means also you will win. Right? So the dream is worth building. There'll be tears, there'll be pain, but it is worth building. And I hope you can persist and keep pushing in your journey. If you have an experience with any pain that have come with the territory of you stepping up to build what you desire, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear. You'll be surprised to hear that we're more alike than we are different. So we have similarities and we can encourage each other and root for each other. If you want to do really remarkable work, then check out the Zone of Success. It's a simple tool that I created that helps you identify your area of focus and then allows you to build around it the remarkable life you desire. And also check out the Circle of Greatness. This is where I work with people and help them design a life that they desire and build a legacy that they want to achieve that really breaks many limits. It's a great community that will help you and support you in these times when you're building and you're feeling alone and you need encouragement. Check it out. And on Tuesdays, I'm here with a video and also on my podcast on Thursday with a new episode where we talk about these things and we level up. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you and I will see you soon. All right. Bye.